Well, President Macron's state visit was certainly memorable. I have never seen quite so much the body language, the hugs, the kisses, all of this fascinating stuff if you're into that. And certainly the royals, I thought, played their part superbly. That seemed to me the successful part of the state visit. After all, Emmanuel and Brigitte Macron were greeted by the Prince and Princess of Wales. There was a special dais set up to welcome them in Windsor. Then the quadrangle, the inspection of the Coldstream Guard, the Royal Collection display, and of course the state banquet. And it was magnificent. There's no doubt about it. The red carpet was rolled out for them in spades. Indeed, the King's praises, I wondered when it would ever end. But there's no question that on the one side, I think it was appropriate that it was at Windsor, not Buckingham Palace, because that enabled President Macron to place flowers on Queen Elizabeth's tomb. I thought his tribute when she died. To you, he said, she was your queen. To us, she was the queen. Absolute magic, I thought. It's hard to watch it dry-eyed. And the monarchy does produce these spectacles, and this is the way it's done, the way we do it, and it's famed throughout the world, and rightly. But I do question when you have a visitor, as the president was, whether you should criticize the host country once possibly. We know the French attitude to Brexit, and I was certainly no Brexiteer. But to do so several times, to talk about lies, it takes it into another dimension. It reminds me during the Brexit campaign, I think it was President Obama who talked about Britain, if they voted to leave, to go to the back of the queue. Not a good idea. It's simply the principle of it. The address to Parliament, speech in the city, and of course the issue of migration dominating it, and also that of Ukraine. The coalition of the willing seems to me all very well. I don't doubt France and Britain are totally sincere if there was a peace in Ukraine. But we haven't, and I doubt the French have troops to police it, and not to mention the questions that would arise if the United States didn't police it, with President Trump due apparently in September for his second state visit, which of course is unique. The question is, how does America view Article 5 of the NATO treaty? I ask this because I watched Sky News' War Game, and it raised some very disturbing questions. It's the brainchild of its Sky's defense editor, Deborah Haynes, and the War Game that normally we wouldn't hear about, where they're listening. There are 5 episodes of an hour each, and the Russians, after a terrorism causes tragedies in Russia, they know very well Britain's not involved, but they decide to, as it were, take us out. Now, what does that mean? How does it progress? Well, we've got Sir Ben Wallace playing the former Tory Defence Minister, playing the Prime Minister. We've got a variety of well-known figures, from Jack Straw to others who served in prominent positions. So there's a certain immediacy to it, but my goodness, it's chilling. We do have the nuclear deterrent, but as the podcast makes absolutely clear, we don't have much else. So I would recommend it if anyone is interested. President Trump may apparently go to Scotland one or issues dealing with his golf courses and new plans. Apparently, it's possible even he might see the Prime Minister, Sir Keir Starmer, there. But this is a tricky one, because if he does come in September, the Lords and Commons break in the second half. On the other hand, there's been a rumour that he might not have his second state visit till next year, which is, of course, the 250th year where America celebrates its independence. I'd always thought the Prince and Princess of Wales would attend celebrations in the United States. But as well as that, there's nothing to prevent Trump coming here, and apparently the Commons Speaker and the Lords Speaker would be prepared, according to reports, to facilitate him addressing both houses of Parliament. John Bercow, the former Speaker, refused to allow this during Trump's first visit. But as I say, we've had a memorable few days with President Macron, but it's very controversial. The migrant deal and how that progresses is going to be very controversial indeed. And of course, how defence cooperation progresses will depend on what happens in Ukraine. So I would say simply, the royal family at the centre of the most extraordinary geopolitical events at the moment. Well, they did us proud, as they always do.